Hi friends, welcome to Yoga Inside. We have our masks on. Grab your mat if you have one, your blocks, your blankets, anything else you need to be comfortable, and join in as you're ready. I'll move this out of the way. Come to sit in a comfortable seat for you, perhaps propped. Let your hands face down, grounding and rooting the energy. Bring your forefingers and thumbs to meet, symbolizing wisdom. Find your soft gaze over tip of nose. Or close eyes and go inside. Slow, steady inhale. Slow, steady exhale. And bring those palms to meet in front of heart center. Let your thumbs press. Feel your rhythm, your own beat, your heartbeat. Open hands to cups, truly preparing to receive, giving ourselves permission to learn exactly what that means while understanding there needs to be enough for us all. Sharing, receiving, giving, inviting it all to go along in one package. Middle fingers and thumbs meeting for patience, courage, determination, and starting to circle the wrists either in front of you if the shoulders are feeling sore at all, or all the way up to the ceiling. Reverse your circles. And we'll do that once again. And this time, as you reach up, cross the forearms, open the palms, stretch the fingers wide, stretch the toes wide, bend the elbows a bit. Invite the breath. And bring your hands down to frame the heart center, receiving all the healthy ingredients you need. We all need clean air, clean water, healthy soil to grow our food. And on an inhale, reach your arms out and up. On an exhale, bring the palms down the midline with sound Om if you wish. Two more. One more. Slow, steady inhale, reaching arms forward. Slow, steady exhale, letting tops of hands face each other. Keep breathing. Crossing the forearms once again, letting the palms meet, fingers interlace, and pulling the hands in toward the heart center. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, pull the hands toward the heart center. Move with your breathing now. This is a brain balancing technique as we've crossed the midline, which means we're also helping the mind to focus. And this movement also settles us and could release some anger. So that's a good thing when we receive all of that with one movement, with our breathing. And next time the hands come to heart center, keep them there a moment. Feel your seat pressing down. Nice long spine reaching out of crown of head and imagining spine perhaps as antenna. And you tuning in to higher frequencies, higher vibrations. During this new moon time, some who follow the stars and read the planets say it's a good time to start to find something new to focus on. The darkness perhaps stirs our creativity. And we'll release the hands and move forward to table. And you know you're welcome to set a blanket up under the knees if you like. And the palms will come under the wrists or in front. Those would be wrists under shoulders or in front of shoulders. And the fingers spread wide. And we want all of the fingers to reach a teeny bit away from the thumbs. If you tend to move your arms super straight, we'll give them a teeny bend. And the toes can tuck under as you move into your cow on inhale. And you move into your cat on exhale. Keep moving, keep breathing. Keep breathing, keep moving. And next time you find your way to cat, release the head and neck even a bit more. If possible, bring the wrist directly under the shoulders. Pull navel in and up. Slow, steady breathing. Imagining emptying out any and all of the thinking, any and all of the hurries and worries, the should-haves, the would-haves, the could-haves, releasing them for right now. On an inhale, lengthening spine, walking the hands in front of shoulders a bit again. Left knee and foot toward the right, and then right heel pressing back as you gaze forward to a point that doesn't move. Perhaps your opposite arm will reach forward. Keep breathing. Stay here or take that long line diagonal and let your toe tips reach up and your fingertips just barely touch down. Inhale to center space and exhale, reaching back, fingers, toes active, or make the connection. Notice if you've made the connection, if you've crossed the midline, and encourage the heel and knee to return in line with the hip. Release the hand and knee, and we'll take it to Balasana, your child's pose, knees wide, big toes touch, up to you. If arms are actively reaching or resting. Even making a pillow under the forehead, you know, is nice for the neck. And let me put our do not disturb sign out just in case. Slow, steady breathing now. Brain and breath, best friends. It's an inhale That moves you forward to table. The right knee and toes step toward the left, and your left heel presses back this time. As you're ready, opposite arm reaches forward, and your gaze is on something that doesn't move in front of you. Long line, moving diagonal toe tips, reach up, fingertips reach down. Inhale, center space, well done. Reaching back, active fingers and toes, or making the connection. Do something. Encourage heel and knee in line with your hip. Release to second, child's pose. This time with your knees together to massage digestive system. Maybe arms alongside you to rest the shoulders and wrists. Remember, you can even take hold of your heels and give your wrists something different if you like. On an inhale, lifting up to your seat, and if you like, creating a cushion for between your heels. So it could be a block, it could be something you have nearby, improvise. And if you want to sit between the feet, that would be your hero pose as well. And then we'll bring the hands to temple or steeple, either in front of you or above you. On the inhale, we're going to say, think, or listen to the sound sat, S-A-T. On the exhale, nam, N-A-M. You may also use the words I am, and eventually we'll move to we are. After your exhale, beginning, sat, nam. Sat, nam. Sat, nam. Sat, nam. I am. Notice the navel center pulling in and up on I, and the belly moving soft on I am. I am. I am. I am. We are. We are. We are. Exhaling all the air out. Slow, steady inhale. Slow, steady exhale. Engage the root lock, the muscles at your seat that you might use if you needed restroom and none to be found. Hold breath for a moment if you are able. And exhale, release all of that. Slow, steady breathing returns. Nice. And now we'll move to one side so that you can cross through your ankles. Bring your arms long, your hands together. As your arms move overhead, you lean back a bit and then push into those feet like you mean it and come up to stand. Well done. And you stand on your mat where you're comfortable. The toes pick up and spread wide. The four corners of feet root and connect. The knees pull in and up. The navel center pulls in and up. And the shoulders roll. And we'll close eyes a moment and check in with balance. And then opening eyes, finding Pranastana. Where does it seem center of breath resides in you? And let it be wherever you find it. Observe the breath. And on an inhale, reach the arms out and up with all that you've engaged thus far. Fingers interlace, palms to sky. Good. On an exhale, Bending the elbows, palms facing ceiling, chin actually tilts here. Inhale is the focus. Slow, steady breathing. On an inhale, arms lengthen. On an exhale, releasing hands to your sides. 2 more Hasta Vinyasas, inhaling out and up. A traditional or classical way to begin our practice. Exhale, hands move behind you, holding elbows, almost elbows. See what you come up with. Inhale, opens the heart, and exhale, turns you to the first side. Inhale, opening again. Exhale, gazing behind you, maybe up, ground through those feet. Sometimes they like to turn with us. Inhale, come center. Exhale, other side, opening on inhale. Exhale, turning a bit, maybe gazing up. Inhale, coming center. And exhale, releasing. 1 more, inhale out and up. Fingers interlace, palms to sky. Exhale, halfway forward, taking on the shape of numeral 7. Press through the palms, release through your seat. And on an inhale, arms move out to the side. And on an exhale, arms move overhead. 2 more. After the third, swim, fingers interlace, palms push forward. You've got it. And you come all the way up to stand. Well done. Exhale. Releasing. Top of mat as you like. Surya Namaskar, sun salutation. Arms reach out and up. Fingers interlace, palms to sky for Vinyasa Krama. Sun salutation. Exhale. Lifts the heels. And you gaze to a point that doesn't move to find your good balance. Exhale, half squat, Ardha Utkatasana. You know to check in with your foundation. Knees a bit behind the toes, lifting arms as appropriate. Notice if you're leaning forward a bit, can you root down to connect and lift up. Inhale, fingertips outside the toe tips unless you're using your blocks. The right foot stepping to lunge, holding lunge while you breathe. Inner edges of thighs pulling in up. Exhale, heel back. Gazing forward. Now gently bend that right knee without letting it move all the way down at first. And hold that and experience front body. And then gently bring the knee down. Front foot meets the back foot. And we'll move to modified plank, where the front of your body is active so the back body is not doing all the work by itself. You've got it. Fingers spread wide, even here. 4 corners of palms pressing. Tops of feet releasing one at a time. And moving down to the mat now for your Sphinx or your crocodile. So your elbows now move under shoulders. Again, fingers are spread wide. And tops of feet and toenails even press down. If your back is letting you know it's not the happiest, press even more through the front of your hips, and that should help. Exhale, releasing head and heart. Inhale, lift up through those good strong shoulders, and do that twice more. Holding the Sphinx or the crocodile now, keep breathing. Pushing down to lift up again. Head and heart releasing. If you like making a pillow for your forehead, some of us will stay still here. Some will rock the hips side to side. See what works for you. Inhale, lifting the head and heart, hands near the chest, and as you press down, we'll lift up and take it back to you choose. Child's pose of your choice, modified dog or full dog, remembering your options. If you're modifying, the hands can come in front of shoulders, the toes tuck under, and the hips are up. Your ears are inside your upper arms. If you're in full dog, as we are here in the studio, you're moving more into a triangular shape. And we'll take a moment to release the backs of legs. And then from your stepping and bending, let's press both heels down toward the mat. Push your hips back toward the wall behind you, and notice any space you can create throughout your underarms. How are your fingers? How are your palms? How are your knees even? Sometimes we need to pull in and up a bit to keep them in line with the heels. Now, please bend both knees, lift both heels, gaze to those thumbs, lots of steps forward, left foot forward for the lunge, followed by the right, or even a hop to half forward fold. Some of us will press into shins to lengthen spine, and then full forward fold. Perhaps pressing into backs of low legs to release a bit more. And you're welcome to give the knees a micro bend to help the backs of thighs release. Those good old hammies. And we'll come up in steps to lengthen spine. Hands to shins, followed by hands to hips. You've got it all the way up. Top of mat. Surya Namaskar. Remember, typically inhale offers us length. Typically exhale releases. Half squat from your mountain. Pressing down to lift up, placing hands wisely for your shoulders. Maybe just checking in with foundation. Seeing where the toes are, seeing where the knees are, breathing. Inhale, fingertips to toe tips, left foot does the stepping. This time hold the lunge, pull in and up through inner edges of thighs, push back through heel. And again, let's bend that back knee just a bit and gaze forward. Noticing how front body feels as we do. And then knee releases. We'll take it to the modified plank where you pick the knees up and push back through the heels for your high plank. And from the high plank, we'll come onto the true tippy toes and move to medium plank for a moment, and then all the way down to the mat. We'll stay here for a bit, if you don't mind. Tops of feet down. Hips pressing forward, and on an inhale, lift the hands. Keep breathing. Hands release, take it back to your child's pose, your modified dog, your full dog as you wish. And if you're in your child's pose, remember you have options. You can let your palms face the ceiling to release those good wrists. in your Adho Mukha Svanasana, see about lifting your left heel. You okay? Okay. You don't have to rush. And if you'd rather do that from table pose, you could. Pressing through both heels. And then lift those tippy toes up as high as they'll go and bend your top knee. Gaze through your left underarm. Press through those palms. And now bring the hips center. Release the foot down. And we'll lift the other side. Heel in line with hip. You can also do this from table pose. Tippy toes reach way high up, knee bends, gazing through the underarm. And now pull that top knee underneath. Push off your back foot and step to lunge. This time keep lunge. Let your back heel settle and your front heel might need to heel toe in a bit to make a line to the middle of back foot. Come up one hand at a time or windmill up to your warrior two. Take a moment with your hands at your hips. Notice if more space can be found between your feet. And let's give the inner edges of thighs a little assist. And so you'll push the inner edge of thigh down and pull the inner edge of back thigh out. Would it help if I put the AC on? Okay, keep breathing. Notice how strong your legs are in warrior two. Check in on that back arm. Sometimes it travels. Your gaze is over your front, middle finger. And now we'll bring the front forearm down and the back arm will hold the hip a moment while we press. You got it. Trust yourself to open the heart and the side body. But at the same time, keep the hips centered. So sometimes the hips start to reach to the side of the mat. We want them to stay between your heels. Top arm can reach to the side of the room. You've got it. If all is well in the shoulder, you might reach a teeny bit more. And then imagine you can plug the shoulder in. You've got it. And slide, glide that arm overhead. Breathe here, reach through your fingertips, extended side angle. Just for a moment, let's reach the top fingers to the ceiling and open up a little bit more. And then reach that top hand overhead once again. Breathe. Notice your foundation. Notice side body. Notice front body. Notice back body and your gaze. And let's bring those fingertips down next to the toe tips. Find your lunge. Step it back. Down dog or child's pose. You're always welcome to take a breather in child's pose and join us again. As you're ready, we'll pull the left knee in toward the belly, push through the back foot, and step to lunge, set up for warrior two. Once again, back heel down, front heel makes a line to middle of back foot, and we'll windmill the arms up if you like. And then find your hips for a moment. Check in with your front knee, encourage it to bend just a teeny bit towards your pinky toe, and give those thighs inner edges an assist again. So the front inner edge will press down. I'm going to turn, and the back inner edge will pull out a bit and then push down behind it. Notice that there's a little space to be found between the feet. You've got it. 2 long arms, and then just notice if those shoulders lean a bit. Bring them up in line with the hips. Palms face the sky. And as you're ready, on an exhale, we'll move forward to a variation of extended side angle. So work first with that front arm, pressing a bit, heart opening. And now let's reach top hand right out across from the shoulder, as long as shoulder as well, more than you typically would. Imagine plugging shoulder in, gliding arm overhead, reaching through fingertips, perhaps reaching up to the ceiling, opening up a bit more, and then reaching overhead. Gazing to floor for balance, across from you, maybe even up to the fingertips. As you press through 4 corners of feet, come on up. Bring the feet in line with each other. Maybe the big toes come in a smidge. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, bow forward. Find your blocks or books if you have them at home. If possible, find your elbows. On an inhale, begin to lift the head and heart as you press into your fingertips. Heel, toe, the feet to hips width or together. And then lifting one foot, sliding one hand under that foot and letting your toes press into the wrist. Your knees can bend to help you get there. Same thing other side. Lift the foot, press toes into the wrist, release your head and neck. On an inhale, lifting head and heart, very nice. Your fingertips claw. You may return to mountain in steps or reverse swan dive. And then you can turn to face the mat, on the mat, the way you prefer. The first foot grounds, the toes root and connect, and we'll bring the other foot forward and around. And you'll remember options. Toes down, heel up, outer edge of foot to calf, or wrapping the toes around the calf. Choose wisely. Hands can stay at heart center, or try opposite arm on top. If you're crossing the arms, tops of hands move toward each other. Garudasana, eagle pose. Bottom hand, maybe to wrist or palm. Inhale, lift those fingers. Keep breathing. If you like, exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lifting, and exhale, unwinding. Finding 5-pointed star as wide as your mat if you wish, or wider. Hands to hips, bring the heels in a smidge, bend your knees. If your knees are not happy, adjust your feet and give your knees space. Open your arms, find goddess pose. Stay still or rock side to side. Inhale, center, 5-pointed star. Finding your shine and your sparkle. Hands move to hips, toe, heel the feet together. Other foot grounds, other foot reaches in front and to the side it goes. Choose wisely. 1, 2, or 3. Hands to heart center or cross the arms. Tops of hands together. Or that bottom hand reaches for the wrist or palm. Perhaps the fingertips reach up to open you up. And exhale, bows you forward. Inhale, lifting up out of your Garudasana. Exhale, unwinding. 5-pointed star. Hands to your hips. Let's toe heel the feet a little wider if you don't mind. You can always come long on your mat if the floor is slippery, and bring the big toes in a smidge. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, bow. Releasing hands, releasing head and neck. As you wish, holding on to the outer edges of your calves. As the elbows bend, head and neck release. There might be room for your feet to move a little wider. You would plant your fingertips to create space. Knees may have a micro bend or a bigger bend to start, and eventually those legs lengthen. Inhale, lifting your head and heart, fingertips under the shoulders, heel, toe it in a bit. Let your feet move on a diagonal now. And inhale up to your goddess. See about pressing your toes down and lifting your heels, while perhaps releasing your seat a bit more. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Hands to hips, toe, heel it to center space. Plant through the first foot again. This time, with that hand on the hip, lift your other knee. Find your soft gaze to a point that doesn't move, and bring your knee to the side. You've got it. Inhale, center. Take it for a walk, or reach your peace fingers for your big toe. You can also have your hand holding some part of your leg, or return to your knee. Push through your heel. On an inhale, bring your leg out to the side. Breathe. practice. Do what works for you in this moment. Nice. Maybe that other arm moves to the side. And then coming out the way you came in, take it for a walk. And we'll find our magical side. Other foot grounds, other knee lifts as you're ready. And the knee out to the side. Gazing softly. Knee comes center, take it for a walk, or peace fingers move to the big toe. Heel presses forward. Inhale the leg out to the side. Beautiful. Maybe opposite arm reaches. Returning center, coming out the way you came in, taking it for a walk. Let's take it through one more sun salutation before we move down to the mat. So before we do that, find your blocks and place them near the top of your mat so they're there for you. And you know you can use books at home if you like. Inhale, heels lift with the arms. Following your breath to half squat, or if you're practicing full squat, you know the arms can lower, good. The heels can lift until maybe those heels settle and maybe those arms reach. Inhale, fingertips near the toe tips. Right foot does the stepping again unless you're hopping to plank, and we'll hold the high plank unless you're bringing the knees down. Take it to middle plank and then down to the mat. Bhujangasana as you like, or up dog. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. You may want to check in on the feet. Sometimes the heels move wider than hips when we're feeling tight. You don't have to touch, but you could invite them in line with the hips. Shoulders roll, elbows bend, fingers spread wide. Back you go. Child's pose if you like. We'll let the tops of hands rest on top of your props, releasing head and neck. And then bringing the blocks next to your seated hero and pressing into the tops of your hands. Letting all of those good, strong muscles in the forearms connected to the wrists release a bit with bent elbows. And as you're ready, maybe you'll lengthen the arms. You know you're welcome to do one hand and then the other if you prefer. And as you release your hands, take the seat you prefer. Inhale, arms overhead. Middle finger and thumb find one wrist, and you'll gently guide that hand overhead. Ear inside, upper arm, gazing across from you for crescent moon. brings you center, and we'll move to the other side. Noticing the obvious side opening, noticing the not so obvious side opening. Inhale brings you center. Exhale, releasing. And we'll move the other hip down to the floor. Bring the legs forward. You're welcome to take a moment and give the knees a little release. Pressing the palms down into your blocks or into the mat. Pressing your heels forward. Inviting second, third toe in line with heel. And then inhale, lengthening, palms to sky. And exhale, bowing forward to the place it makes sense for you. Maybe fingertips clawing the floor or your blocks. Undoing screen time posture by lifting the chin a bit, opening the heart a bit. Pressing through heels, pressing through seat. Fingers interlace, palms press away to lift and lengthen. Bring the hands about a foot behind you. Bring the heels toward the knees as you press down. Lift to your reverse table or tabletop. Give low back a little nudge. Lift hips a little higher. Gaze to the knees or the ceiling. If you like, press through one foot and lift one set of toes to the sky. Keep the hips up. Release and other side. Release the seat. With the gaze, bring the feet to the top of the mat. Have a shawl or a blanket nearby. Knees bent or legs long. Check safe space behind you. Lift those arms and lower. One vertebra at a time, perhaps. And as you reach the ground, let your arms come out across from your shoulders. Bring the heels near the hips. And let's bring both knees to one side. The hand closest can give the top knee a little nudge. Your gaze is up to the ceiling, or you're gently turning your head away from the knees. Noticing the shoulders as you settle in. Sometimes one shoulder needs a little lifting and lowering in order to release. Inhale, head center, and as you're ready, we'll bring the knees center and on over to the other side. They'll go, and you're always welcome to prop a block or a blanket between the knees if that helps you. You've got it. Your gaze is either to the ceiling or away from your knees. We are trying to have the knees across from the hips rather than lower than the hips. Inhale brings your head center. As you're ready, we'll bring the knee center. And now, give those knees a giant hug. Hold elbows if possible, almost elbows, nose, forehead to your knees. On an exhale, release your grip just a bit. Hold maybe near your wrists. Release your head. And 2 more. Big squeeze in. Release the grip just a bit. Release your head. 1 more. Final. Squeeze in. Good. Resting. Giving yourself permission to rest. You know, of course, you're welcome to cover up with any layers. You're welcome to slide a bit of blanket under the knees if it's helpful. Taking your time in Shavasana. Releasing fingers and toes. Keep resting. Releasing ankles and wrists. Telling even your knees and your elbows to take rest. Hips, jawbones releasing. Noticing where the tongue may rest. Imagining your entire face releasing around the jaw, in and around the nose, around the eyes, even around your ears. Takes rest. Across your forehead, perhaps a clean paintbrush or a feather moving side to side. Same clean paintbrush or feather moving across the crown of head, down the back of skull, down the back of neck, across your shoulders, and even all the way down the back, the spine, the backs of legs to your heels, even the soles of your feet resting. If you'd like to rest for longer, please do. For the sake of Instagram land time, I'll begin to guide you back by wiggling fingers and toes as you're ready. Perhaps rounding ankles and wrists. Maybe you'd like to give yourself a really good stretch with your arms long and your legs long until you can find a way to rest on one side. Your bottom arm could be a pillow for your head. And as you're ready, that top arm guides you to your seat, and if you have anything to cover your spine to keep it warm. You're welcome to hands rest open, receiving. Now, if you are at home and you want to do the cleansing breath, Kapalabhati, which we've been practicing this month, you're welcome to. We're here in the studio, so we're going to do alternate nostril breath if you like, and if not, no worries. The way I was taught was the right hand comes up, index, middle finger down, ring, pinky out, right thumb to right nostril, you exhale left, inhale, close, pause, you exhale right, inhale, close, pause, you exhale left, inhale, close, pause, you exhale right. One more at your own pace. Next time you exhale right, we'll bring hands to heart-centered mudra, thumbs pressing, feeling the beat of your own heart, your own rhythm. Closing with the sounds Om Shanti for peace, as you wish after inhale. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om peace, peace, peace. Om. Thank you for sharing your practice in the studio. Thank you for sharing your practice at home. Namaste. Take your time, please. Tomorrow, we're on the bridge at 8:30 a.m. If you'd like to join us, you're welcome to. Hi, friends. Thanks for the waves.